What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I am your host, Eric, and today I want to talk about hurt feelings. And also, I want to talk about voices online. You know, you got to sometimes be skeptical about the voices online, such as my own, that you may run into. Sometimes you do some research into those voices online and you find out things that would key into their motive and agenda in what they're saying online. What are you talking about, Eric? Man, you sound crazy right now. Well, let's dive on in. As you guys know, I follow an account on Facebook that is called the Henry Miller account. Now, for those of you who don't know, Henry Miller, historically, is the founder of the IBEW. He's the guy that tramped around the country and organized all the electricians to form a union. Henry Miller, kind of a famous name. So, the Facebook account, Henry Miller, is kind of much in the same vein, trying to organize as many electricians as they can. Now, there is an organization campaign going on against Bart's Electric. And the Henry Miller account they made a post and it said, Merit Shop / non-union Bart's Electric Red Hat program, quote unquote, propels apprentices to the IBEW. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek way of saying when you go work at Bart's and then you find out what is available to you in a union shop versus what they provide as a non-union shop, well then they're going to make you want to join the IBEW. I would say the same. If you work non-union as an electrician, try to get into any IBEW local and just see the difference. Even the crappy IBEW locals are better than working non-union. That's just facts of life. But I digress. So then this account, I don't want to give the guy any notoriety, so I'm not going to say his name, comments and he writes, and your point is, and for what did he do that? Because there then was when the conversation got interesting. So, an IBEW member posts a question. Bart's is losing lots of guys to the IBEW. That's a point for sure. But I understand, I don't see why Bart's is losing so many. It couldn't be because of the IBEW's great wages, benefits, and brotherhood, could it? So then that account, which as we went through the day, it was discovered he was a consultant for Bart's Electric. So this is a management guy. So listen to how management decides to interact with union brothers and sisters who are commenting on a post by the account of our founder. Here we go. Yes, from what I see, Bart's has lost a handful of electricians to employers who pay your organization's way. An important distinction, by the way, but you should be aware that several hundreds of others notice the efforts taken to influence a few employees. Those efforts include propaganda. Let me tell you something about propaganda. Propaganda is normally meant to mislead, not to educate and inform. It's not propaganda, it's bringing the truth to them. So it's not propaganda to say you are underpaid, your conditions are horrible, and then to show them that there's a way for them to get a better wage with better working conditions. That's not propaganda, that's just telling the truth. No, what you do, sir, is propaganda. This is propaganda. You trying to talk to folks about how you have hundreds who are taking notice about how much the IBEW is coming to try to organize the shop and that it's turning them off. That's propaganda. Your whole career is propaganda. It's built on lies. You're a charlatan who talks to folks about how to squeeze money out of working people. You're the lowest type of scum. You're a class trader of the highest order, and you want to sit here and jump on a page and try to act like you know something? Get out of here with that nonsense. But I digress, and let's continue. Those efforts include propaganda, infiltration, salting, which, yeah, we go ahead and hire in, and then educate the workers around us of how much of a raw deal they're getting. Because you're not going to tell them. Are you going to honestly pay your employees what they should be making? A prevailing wage for the industry standard in your area? No, you're not going to do that. Are you going to voluntarily make your job sites the safest in the world? No, you're not going to do that. So yeah, we got to salt. Because we care even about the non-union workers who you are taking advantage of. And you don't even work in the industry. You're a consultant. All you're doing is consulting. Trash bag man. Nah, embute. Because trash collectors have dignity and honor in what they do. You're just a snake. Lies about BART's employees and BART's leaders, and an in-your-face billboard as your attempt to publicly humiliate good people in a great organization. Oddly, and based on reactions here, your people seem proud of all of this. Good for you and your crusade. Just know that for every win, you have turned scores against you because of your eagerness to put down others to elevate your questionable cause. Maybe this is why unions have been fighting an uphill battle for years and represent a small part of the construction industry. No, that's not why. That's not why at all. The reason that unions have been fighting an uphill battle for years is because of snakes like you and big money interests joining forces to crush unions by buying up all of the media, all of the government, and everything else since the 1940s when unions had the biggest wins. And then all of a sudden, we're having a hard time. Not to mention the anti-union president firing an entire air traffic control staff and replacing them with non-union, being the chief union buster. So shut your face, you little snake, and know your role. So then the consultant goes on to say about a former BART's employee who commented on the thread. He had this to say: "If this is the person I know, I have nothing but admiration for her. I would add that many others inside and outside BART's see the culture differently than she does. Shocking as it is for people on this thread, not everyone is happy with the union." Lies once again. Once you get a union, you are happy. And if you're unhappy, the only reason you're unhappy, it's because your union, you feel, should be doing far more to help. And maybe you feel like they're not doing enough. But it's not because you feel like it's better off the other way or you were better off before. That's not true. So the former employee decides to reply to the consultant, and this is how this goes. "I appreciate that. I watched young men work there at their first jobs that were treated like dirt, not only while they were working, but when they were let go. No one knows how to do everything at their first job right off the bat. And then to be let go and talked to as if they were scum was terrible. But I also blame myself for not stepping in when this was happening. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. We do all have to be better and step up when we can, but that is not your fault. Do not ever put that on yourself. When the VP of operations was sitting there allowing it, I felt a lowly HR person shouldn't say anything either. I would do many things differently now. I'll never let someone be treated that way ever again. I'm so proud that you learned from that experience and won't allow it again. As long as that person that spoke to them that way continues working there, this treatment won't ever stop. I could go on and on about the treatment at BART's Electric, how things are handled there, and what they did to me, but I'll leave that for another day. As for BART's culture, that was and is a big red flag for me. Any company that wants to brainwash you with their culture should be avoided. I never fell for it and refused to give in to their ridiculous ideas. So I was not well liked, and I can live with that. Bravo. Bravo indeed. Be leery online when you start to see opinions that align with emotions. This was a consultant jumping on a union page to bash the union and promote the company. And he got roasted for it. And if you're not friends with Henry Miller on Facebook yet, you should. They're a good account to follow. They do a wonderful job. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember, the fight's not left and right. It is up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I front and center. Peace.